Volvo has just launched the new V40 at the Geneva Motor Show before a huge media gathering. This is a car that will now make a place for itself in, for Volvo, a completely new segment, which is one of the toughest in the car market. To succeed in this, the car must be simply the best. It's a tough and exciting challenge, one which the project team were fully aware of when more than 4 years ago they started to sketch the first lines and ideas for a secret car project that at the time was called Y555.
What I really wanted to do from the beginning, what my goal, my intention was to create something new, something fresh, modern, but something that really made a distinctive statement and stood out in its class.
I felt a real challenge to make this car to a successful car, because competition is very, very tough.
We are now entering the segment part for the 5 doors. We are already present with the 3-door C30, but now we are entering into the larger part, which is then the 5-door.
One of my biggest inspirations in Volvo's history is the P1800 and the 1800 ES. And in the Volvo V40, you find some cues that are reminiscent of those cars. Not retro, because we don't do retro, but very modern executions of some things that are from our past.
To be absolutely certain that the project developed in the right direction in terms of design, performance and price, it's been vitally important to listen to what customers think, which is why Volvo have worked for many years with advanced customer research tools and different reference groups, who've been able to express their opinions right from the first sketch and drawing board stage.
It all comes down to that we need to develop things in the car, and the car itself, of course, then based on what the customer needs and wants. So we have worked a lot with clinics over the years in different areas of the car.
When you develop a car, I mean, we do it with a limited amount of people involved, and the consumers out there, they are many, and they think different. It's hard to cover that in a team, to understand all the aspects on the car.
After extensive customer research, Volvo now know pretty clearly what the car is going to look like. But to be completely certain that they've thought along the right lines, they now build a plastic version of the car, a show car. This is a car that you can sit in, touch and feel, that is as close to the real thing as you can get.
Today we have done the final check before delivery of our new show car, going through all the details and checking that everything is all right.
I have been a long time at Volvo, and I have been together with these guys for a long time also, and built a lot of plastic car, and this is the best they have done ever.
Everything we do
starts with people. And it's at the heart
of everything we design,
engineer,
build and service.
Understanding people
was our founder's philosophy.
and it's more true today
than ever before.
Design Around You is all about the person being at the center of focus. You know, when you start, you think about the customer, you think about their needs, what they would like, what their preferences are, and you use that to create something for them. It's not like you say, would you like something red or blue, and they say blue. You say, how do you feel? What do you do? What do you like? And then as a professional, as a designer, it's my job to then interpret that and say, this would be appropriate.
Almost 1,000 people around the world have taken part in the different phases of customer research. The participants have been very carefully selected in order to build a group that represents prospective customers as accurately as possible.
We have invited 150 respondents here in Hamburg. They are looking at the exterior, they are looking at the interior, and we are also asking a little bit about different features.
First clinic was in Germany, and we scored the best result ever for a Volvo model, both exterior and interior. And we got what we were kind of longing for and seeing. It was this wow reaction.
It's a new segment. I see it's a sporty car, and it's a family car. is elegant. It's a new innovation.
觉得就是以后的那个新车的那个款型，就跨界车比较会流行一点，会有一个趋势嘛，这样。
Do you think that the car manufacturer will listen to what you said today?
Ja, ja. Also ich habe das letztes Mal gesehen, da haben wir über die Spiegelgröße gesprochen. Die hat sich verändert.
As we developed the car, we definitely took our input from the meetings and looked at what feedback we got, what they thought was cool, what they thought was maybe a bit too average or whatever the case was, and we always made it better and better and better. And really from where we started to where we ended up, it was such an amazing transformation.
Just to give you one example of a small detail that we have focused on is the two-level load floor, where we used our customer reference group in United Kingdom to help us develop the way it works, the way it handles, and the functionality of it.
In April 2010, it's time for the kick-off in Volvo's pilot plant, an assembly plant in miniature, where test series of the new car will be manufactured. Training of assembly workers from Ghent, where the new Volvo model will eventually be built, has also begun.
Today we're going to have this kick-off for the industrial team to show them both virtually and also show the show car, the Wi-Fi 5 show car, to the full industrial team. It's around 700 persons invited, because we're going to start the VP build here now, and it's going to be very interesting and exciting to show this car to the full team. In this project now we're going to build 115 cars for only internal use. We will not sell those cars. But they look exactly like a real car, which it will the same as it will be in 1 year, but the material status is can be of prototype status. We're looking at the first build station of this prototype build. And what we're doing now is that we're putting all cable harness into the car. This is the second build station, and what Philip is going to do now is that he's going to assemble the pedestrian protection airbag.
The Volvo V40 introduces a pedestrian airbag, a unique new feature on the market that will reduce injuries to pedestrians in the event of a collision. As there's a great deal of new technology to be fitted, huge demands are made on communications between personnel here at the pilot plant and the project management team. The management therefore moved into the factory and created an office right in the middle of where everything is happening. It's when all the components need to be put together that new questions arise, and they require new solutions.
We don't have so many build issues, but we have one, and it's about the tailgate, the hatch opening. The end position is too high. Now, I'm quite tall, but if you see here, when I let this hatch go up, it's quite high. We can't have them jumping up when they're going to close the hatch, so we need to adjust that.
You are looking for a lot of problems.
Yes, we love problems now. We want them to come up as soon as possible, because we know that we're going to fight the problems during this coming year now. So we need to get them as fast as possible to be able to solve them in the best effective way.
The 18th of May 2011 is a big and important day here at the pilot plant. The first test car is finally completed. The new Volvo V40 really does exist now. The personnel symbolically hand over the keys to the team that will now put the new car through hard and demanding tests.
Yes, I'm very satisfied with the work we have done. It's have been very high focus and a lot of people involved, and so I'm very pleased. Yes.
Well, having worked for a very long time in a new car project, once you see the car coming for real, for the first time, full-scale models, you become very proud of what you have actually participated in and managed to develop and realize.
It's the biggest, proudest moment. It's like, you know, seeing something that you've created, something that you've worked for years on, hard work, you know, determination, and to finally see it out in the wild, as we say, will be an absolute amazing feeling.
We're going to build more than 100 cars here in pilot plant for only verification purpose. And those cars look very nice now, but when we're finished with them, they're almost destroyed. But that's the purpose, the verification purpose, to test all attributes, really. So take a look at them now, because we're going to destroy them.
It was a fantastic experience and very, very positive. I'm very, very happy today, I must say.
It's a very good day after many years of planning, product definition, product development, sourcing, and now we're here with the car.
This is the first time I drove the car. I've been driving it 3 laps on the road. Very interesting, very nice. The totality feels very nice, very good, very solid. And I think that we have good possibilities to make a good success with the car.
When we saw the first cars and we drove them, we found them to really be very good. And then you can think, yes, okay, we are done. But you are not. Because there are so many environments and circumstances which has to be checked. And I mean, our testing organization with all their experts, they are just fantastic. It's fantastic to just give them the cars and waiting for the result.
For almost a full year, the cars are put through extreme tests. And this means the testing of everything, from the smallest screw to the driving experience, running costs and safety systems, and under extreme conditions, from the sweltering heat of the desert to the snow and ice north of the Arctic Circle in northern Sweden.
We are at the extreme winter testing facility up in Sweden, north of Sweden. And that is a very important part of the testing, because everything in the car is getting more difficult to handle in this cold climate.
We've been focusing a lot on the driving dynamics and steering to make the car react in a predictable way.
For the last 20 years, racing has been a big part of my life, and in my race car I have electric steering, very similar steering to what I have in this car, in the V40, and it just feels great.
Very few manufacturers do what Volvo do, and it's just so much fun to drive this car.
It should be quick, it should be responsive. You bring out a new car, you obviously think, all right, it's going to be good, but it depends what reference you have had. This car is just simply great.
Completely different to any other Volvo before.
It feels encouraging, it feels promising, and I'm quite happy with what we have seen so far. There are always details which are not finalized yet. What we test now is not, I know it is not what we will see in production, because we have made progress which we see on cars being produced right now, and changes that I know will come into production. So I know the things that I'm disappointed with right now will be fixed.
The new V40 will be built in Belgium, where they've worked very hard to adapt the production line to the new car, with normal production running at full capacity at the same time.
Well, the most exciting part of those changes was that we had to make them while the plant was running full production. So it's like jumping on a train which is driving at full speed ahead. So we had to make these changes while production on the other existing models went on as usual.
But all the hard work has been worth it, because when the first cars rolled out from the factory, something quite unique happened.
We had the first tryout series before Christmas. We made 6 cars and it went so well, and it went exceptionally well. All of the 6 cars started automatically at the end of the line, which shows that all the software and all the electronics functioned as it should. And this is quite seldom, so we were very pleased with that.
Despite the really tough competition, the goal is to take a leading position within this segment. The sales target is 90,000 cars per year, of which some 85% will be sold in Europe.
We will start introduction by covering the European markets. And once we have done that, we will expand outside. And why we're starting in Europe is because they represent a major part, meaning 85% actually, of our total planned volumes. After that, we will go to countries like China, Japan, and Australia.
You know, the body style is very fitting for Europe. Americans tend to prefer sedans, crossovers, SUVs, and in the luxury segment, we really need to sort of focus where we want to place our volumes. And you know, strategically, that's what we've decided to do. It doesn't mean that we won't expand to other areas, but for right now, we're launching the car first in Europe.
It's an extremely discriminating customer group that the new Volvo V40 has in its sights, and this segment is often described as the most competitive of all. The segment includes models such as the BMW 1 Series, the Audi A3 and the Mercedes A-Class.
It is a very tough competition in this part of the market, this segment, and we are very sure that we can beat them all.
Volvo has a strong history, and we've always been known for great safety, reliability, and really taking care of people. We've always been human-centric, but using the design and really pushing that forward, it really projects us into a new category, and it creates, it builds upon what we have there already and really makes us stand out.
At a very early stage in the project, a British reference group was created with customers who were allowed to express their opinions throughout the whole of the development phase. So, expectations were very high when the British group first had the chance of test driving the new car at the beginning of February.
There is only one word to describe this: perfect.
As soon as you turn into the sports mode, you do feel like you're sportier.
It just feels so stable.
Steering response is very good. It does feel very safe as well.
I'd be driving with a smile on my face all the time.
It's kind of like the car is taking you. You give it a direction and...
Oh, absolutely stunning. I don't think anything will beat it. I just think it will be 100% seller.
This is beautiful. I do like this.
Thank you.
Well done, guys.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. It's got exactly what I wanted.
We were really involved in what was going to be in the boot space and how to use it to its best potential, and they've used everything that we've suggested. It's just amazing.
If you ask them today who developed this car, they will say, we did. You've been part of developing a car.
I know. It is actually shocking, and it's good to see it's this good, because I don't like putting my name to rubbish.
A vehicle that celebrates that every journey should be extraordinary, even on the most ordinary day. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the all-new Volvo V40.
Building a car is a huge and demanding team undertaking. After 4 years of hard work, they now proudly present the new Volvo V40.
It's a great drive. I mean, it's great to drive it, and it handles well, it's tight, and it really feels like a driver's car.
Yeah, it's a fantastic feeling seeing out there in the real world, so to say, among other competitors and the presence on the road.
We feel very confident.
When you make a new car, it's exciting to work on and you want to know that it will be successful. You want to feel that it will be successful. I absolutely know the V40 will be successful because it's a segment that is booming. It's a segment that is very popular. And if I look at the competition and I look at what we've done, we'll do very well.